120, something like that. A little earlier it said 119 in my cab, but it is boiling hot. Like, it's weird because it's dark outside and it is this hot. And then right next to my truck I've got an old school diesel with no depth, so it's just a diesel semi truck, and they don't have to use the diesel exhaust fluid, and it is throwing smokestacks up into the air. I remember those days when you used to go by semi trucks and it would throw smokestacks into the air, and I haven't seen one of those in a long time, so it's kind of weird. And when I used to go on my fishing trips, my long-range fishing trips, you smell the diesel coming right out of the back of the boat, and so smelling this diesel reminds me of my old fishing trips. It's crazy. Let me show you what it looks like right now. See that truck? And all the exhaust coming out of the exhaust pipes? That's what's going on right now. It's crazy, huh? Yeah, it's pretty noisy too, but my cat's pretty well insulated, so a lot of the sound gets blocked out. Hopefully I'm not bothered by the sound. Man, I'm sweating. I just felt sweat like on my body right now. It's crazy. What a crazy job. So about every 3 months or so, when we get our preventative maintenance done with our company, we have a chance to get our truck washed. Up until this point, my truck got really filthy, so desperately needed this truck wash. Finally got my truck washed. Stopped off here in Arizona. It's hot, as usual, but my truck is clean. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Truck is clean. Look at the scenery here. Not bad. But as per usual, boiling hot. Boiling hot. I'm in Phoenix right now. Yesterday, heading in here on the I-10 in Arizona, the speed limit here in Arizona is 70 miles per hour. Our trucks are governed at 65, so we can go 65 miles per hour basically. But that's the fastest we can go because we can't go any faster, right? But when you see trucks in Arizona going about 61, 62, you move over, make a lane change, move over, pass them up and get in front of them. Well, what happened to me was this clown, I don't want to mention the company's name because it's just a driver from that company and he was just being a clown. He's going really slow. He's going about 60, 61, 62. And so a bunch of trucks started passing him up, and I decided to follow suit. I went behind the other trucks, changed lanes, proceeded to pass him. Right as my cab started to approach the back end of his trailer, guess what he did? He gunned it. So we're doing turtle races, I'm slowly catching up, and he must have had, I think it's called Pass-Sure or SurePass or something like that. In the Freightliner Cascadias, some trucks get the option to put in for like a 20-second period or so. I forgot the exact time, but you get to go at a faster speed. It lets you boost your engine speed beyond the governed speed. So we're going neck and neck, not even neck and neck. I'm like halfway to the middle of his trailer and slowly inching past him. And I look in my side view mirror and there's a whole line of four-wheel cars behind me. Now, I'm almost there. I'm almost about to pass him. And this guy decides to, I think he must have had Pass-Sure or something. He decides to go even faster. Because I know he was governed, but he decides to go even faster. And this whole ordeal, when you're going basically going neck and neck at 61 or 65, it takes a long time for that whole truck to clear and pass. So he was playing games with me and decided to basically force me to change lanes back into my old position behind him. The cars behind me, as they pass, they're not sitting there going, what a jerk that guy was in the other truck. They looked at me because I looked like I made a failed attempt to pass this guy. So I look like the idiot, right? Well, he made me the idiot. But naturally, all the other trucks passed at that same speed, and he decided to gun it right when the Schneider truck showed up. Some people, I think, have it out against Schneider. I don't know. But he wanted me to look like a fool, and he basically did. So I was fairly upset about that. It was really annoying. I think people should have some more better manners. He probably thought it was funny. I think it's lame, and it probably upset a lot of four-wheel vehicles, which is not cool, But yeah, ultimately, I'm the guy who got stuck, holding up traffic there. Was it my fault? No. I was trying to pass. And then eventually, when he didn't let me pass, I had to slow down and get back into my lane. So, that whole ordeal took like several minutes though, because when you're going neck and neck at that speed and doing the turtle races, you're not moving fast, and everything takes time. So hopefully, if you're a driver, you don't have to face any of that. It's just juvenile. It's people thinking it's funny, thinking, oh, I'm gonna make this guy look, feel like a fool, like it's just really lame. The whole time that joke comes at the expense of all those other cars being delayed. So Bacon, Arizona style, 120 degrees. Yeah, I'm at the TA in Tonopah, and look at that moon. Get a better shot of it, but yeah, for some reason I can't get all the details on the moon. It's just coming out like a bright blob, but when you see it with your eyes, you can see all the details on the moon. What's going on, my people? This week was a long week. I just finished. It's Sunday evening, right around dinner time, and they just kept giving me one load each day with a delivery the next day, and just dragged out. I requested for a relay, to turn some of these loads into relays and do a turnaround, but they couldn't help me out this week. It is what it is. I'm not really stressed out about it, but that does cut into my weekend. And now I only have a day and a half to kind of recoup. And now, you think if it's more drawn out and you do less driving per day. No, every day that you're out of the house and you're in the truck, I think you use about the same amount of energy, whether you're driving out there, grinding it out, or even just waiting in the truck, or even when you have downtime in the truck, it's different. It's different than being home and having the freedom, not knowing or knowing that you don't have another load, or you don't have to get up at a certain time and get on the go. Yeah, like I said before, I like to squeeze in 14 hours each day and try to do 70 hours in 5 days and try to get 6 trips in minimum. This week I ended up going from Tuesday to Sunday and doing basically 1 trip a day, drawn out. A lot of negatives, that I have to deal with, but it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. Everything's fine. It's just annoying, but what are you going to do? Now, I still encourage everybody out there, be proactive. Having a chill or relaxed attitude doesn't mean you should be passive. It just means that we just curb our expectations, and we don't have to expect that everything's going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, exactly like how we think it's going to be. But we have to be able to adapt and flow. And during that process, that we don't wig out. But we have to stay passionate, positive, proactive, putting our energy in. And if you stay passive and sit there and don't do anything and just say, oh, they'll take care of me, or things will get better. No. Most of the time, you're basically out of sight, out of mind. Unless you make some noise, they're not going to remember that you need this or you need that. Don't be shy. Be proactive. Go out there and make yourself heard and make yourself known. Make yourself heard and make yourself known. I'm not saying do it in a way that you're rude or you're obnoxious, but just, assertive. Just say, hey, I'm here. I need this. I need that. You know what? This happened to me and this has to happen, And a lot of times they'll say, oh, we can't help you with that. But sometimes they can. This weekend I had a overnight services person, and she was like awesome. She cared. She took care of me. She stayed on the phone when she, most people say, oh, I'll call you back later or whatever. No, she hung in there with me until my problem basically got resolved. I don't want to mention her name, but she was awesome. I'm really thankful for her. I would have been stuck in Phoenix this whole weekend because they made an error with my assignment. I'm supposed to shut down Saturday or Sunday, depending on how much time I have left. But they had me picking something up and delivering something on Monday. It wasn't going to work because I didn't have any more. I wouldn't have had any more time on my clock on my 70. So anyway, she worked with me, replaced that assignment to one that was more reasonable, and that's why I came home now and I'm recording this video because of her help. If not, I would have been stuck in Phoenix, which would have sucked. We had a family thing that was going on this week too, and it just. There's nothing like home. I sleep in the truck 5 to 6 times a week, but you wanna come home as much as possible. Yeah. In my channel, I kind of project how I would do things And I'm assuming that a lot of people would like to be on the go all the time, working, maximizing their hours, trying to fill up that 14, trying to fill up that 11 each day. But I have to realize that a lot of people are different. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about this week is, for those of you that are different, what you should do. And I want to encourage everybody that's different than, me. Obviously, everybody's different than me, but you do you, do how you're wired, but figure out what you want to do and how you want to optimize yourself, you know? And you doing you is getting a balance of how much effort you want to put in and how much effort you don't want to put in, how much breathing space you need and how much time you want to be grinding it out. And everybody's different. Some people, they burn out after 8 hours. They burn out after, 10 hours. And I want to go the full 14 as much as possible every day, So one of the things is that the good thing about this channel is that we kind of get to talk about driving together while we drive. You get to hear me talk about it, and I get to talk to other people about my experiences and whatnot. And you kind of feel like you're in it together, hanging out together, listening to other drivers and whatnot. When I listen to other drivers talk about their driving, you kind of feel like, okay, that's cool. Like you're hearing their experiences, and then you can kind of learn from them and, share information. So, but not all the drivers are the same. So some drivers, like I said before, want it more paced, like probably your average driver won't want to do, strive for like 650 miles in a day. That's not a goal of theirs. For me, if I could do 650 a day, I'd do it every day. You know what I mean? But a lot of drivers they're happy with 400 miles. They're good enough. Paced, safe. I'm not saying the 650 guys aren't safe, but just a little bit more manageable mentally. For them, because everybody's different. Sometimes when you go fast, some people wig out. So anyway, I had a situation where I knew this guy, great guy, hard worker, smart, intelligent, but he's a young guy, and he was in a situation where he had a family trust, and his grandparents basically told him, when you get to college, all of your expenses will be paid, your tuition, room and board, everything, all your supplies, everything you need will be paid as long as you get into college. If you don't get into college, that money's not yours. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. That's a golden opportunity. You better dive in head first for that. Like, not too many people get that opportunity. He had zero interest in college. He basically said, why am I going to waste my time there? I'd rather do other types of work, stuff that doesn't, he's like, I'm done with school after high school. I don't need to do more school. And, for somebody like me, it just didn't make any sense. So I tried to encourage him. Well, actually, I was kind of being a little pushy. So I was going, you got to do it. You got to do it. Like I was like pushing the guy, and he just looked at me like, Dave, you're crazy. You don't know me. You're like, this is not how I roll. I don't need to do that. I know it's there, but, I'm not going to go to college. And it didn't make any sense to me at all. But, now looking back at that situation, I still disagree with it, but you know what? That's his choice. And that's the way he wants to roll. That's the way he wants to flow. And at the same time, he's a nice guy. I get along well with him. I talk to him and stuff, and I get along well with him. And he works hard. He's very proactive with his life in his way, But studying wasn't a thing for him, and to get a degree and whatnot. Yeah, and especially these days, college is slowly becoming even more overrated. You've got, with the internet, you got information at your fingertips. You can pretty much learn about anything at any time, with a click of a button and stroking some keys with a Google search or whatever, and even with the help of AI, you can learn so much so fast. Anyway, people have different levels of energy, and people also have different routes or different ways that they go about what they are determining to be a good life or a successful life in their mind, which direction they're going towards. Most of the stuff that I've said on this channel is what I'm kind of thinking about during the week and what I'm going through. But it's not a cookie cutter formula where you get Dave's template and then put it on other people and all of a sudden, oh yeah, it's more like you hear my story and then you filter it to how it applies to you, because my story or my approach isn't going to be a cookie cutter formula for everybody else. This isn't like, like you see these guys on the internet, and they like rich dad, poor dad, like how to save money, how to make money, blah, 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 right? And it almost seems like it's almost like a cookie cutter formula that they try to teach you. But at the end of the day, everybody's life is different. Our life circumstances are different. Our needs, our wants are different. The amount of money we make is different. Our living circumstances, rent, whatever, our surroundings, the people we know, it's all different, So there is no cookie cutter formula for successful this or successful that. There isn't. You can get insight. It's like a great alternative view or a viewpoint of whoever's telling you this or telling the story or telling you about their experience, or even trying to teach you something. Yeah, it's good to know, but filter it, and you decide whether it applies to you or not. Don't be one of those lemmings that just sits there and just does what people say without really having it applied to themselves. So my encouragement to you this week is be proactive. Don't be passive, as usual. That's my message going, almost every week, get the balance right and be proactive, and don't sit idle, be proactive. But you determine that level of how much energy and how fast and how much you want to accomplish each week. Hopefully that helps you guys out, because, not everybody is like me, and there's people probably driving out there, driving much more than me and kicking butt, and where I can't even keep up. So, it's just, we all have different stages, different levels, and that doesn't mean one's better than the other. It doesn't at all. Yeah. So this week I did about 2,200 miles, I believe. And it was 3 round trips to the Phoenix region and back, so it's basically 6 trips in total. And it was a decent week. It was very drawn out and slow. So hopefully next week is better. Got to keep plugging at it. I did get the 6 trips, but I wish I could do it faster. Yeah. Anyway, I got another AI song after this video, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I will catch you next week. God bless you. Peace. And until we speak again, stay safe out there. Cheers.